Okay guys, overhead shoulder range of movement testing. If we don't test it, then we don't have a reference point for progress, and progress can often be slow. So this will be a really important baseline and also follow-up to see what impact we have with our daily training on our overhead range of movement. Okay, there's a series of strength and skill tests that are going to be performed by you before we start this program, and then at the end also. This is going to be the only range of movement test that I'm really interested in seeing at the start, and then how it changes over time. Okay, so to be able to get overhead and true overhead, or what we call shoulder flexion range. Jake, if you just pop your arms overhead for me, just where you are there now. We call this shoulder flexion. Okay, now true shoulder flexion will be 180 degrees, a straight line here, a straight line from body line to overhead. Now there's lots of ways that our body will want to cheat. If we arch our low back, we will be able to get our arms overhead, but it won't be true shoulder flexion. Okay, so what you're going to need to test your overhead range of movement is going to be a wall, and I want you to be able to get into a position. You could be standing upright. I've got Jake squatting here just to be able to get him more in the centre of the camera. But the most important thing that we're going to do here is we're going to flatten the low back against the wall. Hold your pelvis just like you would a bucket of water. Anterior pelvic tilt. In the program we're going to be going through a lot of this terminology, but we're going to tip our pelvis forward and backwards as if it's a bucket of water, then backwards and forwards. And when you come forwards, there's going to be a big space on the back, which is going to be low back extension, which is going to be one way that we're going to be able to artificially get overhead. So I'm going to get Jake to just get enough of a posterior pelvic tilt so your low back stays flat here. Okay, in this position, you're going to maintain that now throughout the whole range. Arms are going to come shoulder width apart, not here. Okay, and as I take, or ask Jake, or as you go overhead, you're going to not go any further than you can maintain your low back flat on the wall. Okay, you're not going to let the hands drift any wider, and you're going to keep your thumbs pointing up, because the goal is going to be now, as Jake comes overhead, can you get this index finger all the way actively to the wall without arching at the low back. Okay, now you might find what I'm seeing here with Jake is that he can get further this side than this side. Neither good or bad, but it's baseline. Okay, so what we will be hoping to be able to see at the start and end of the program, if we're accurate with our shoulder overhead range of movement testing, is an impact in changing that. Okay, one more time, Jake, just get yourself into position. Low back flat against the wall, arms shoulder width apart, index fingers as high as we can, maintaining this position here. You can take pictures from yourself from the side so that you can see that position and then looking for. Keep your low back on the wall. I can take him there myself, actively, rib cage is staying down, and relax. Okay, for some of you, relax there mate. For some of us, it's going to be that the strength tests are going to tell us a lot more information from start to finish, because you may be able to have full overhead range of movement here to start with. But for others of us, particularly the guys in my experience, we tend to be a lot more limited, restricted through muscle mass through the shoulders. So being able to use this range of movement test could be where we see one of the biggest differences over the course of this time. Overhead work, if you're into CrossFit, if you're into barbell work, really, really important. And it'd be useful for you to be able to see the difference that this training has on your overhead performance.